Your calendar is full before your coffee is finished. The first message of the day already sounds urgent, and your chest tightens like a fist. Marcus Aurelius faced the same inner weather with an empire on his desk. His answer was not to calm the world. It was to stop letting the world appoint itself your master. For the next 10 minutes, you will see the morning exercise Marcus used to break anxiety before it owned the day. Why most workplace advice treats symptoms instead of causes, and the Stoic move that turns pressure into practice. Here is the strange part. Anxiety often grows because you are trying to control too much. This is for the man who looks successful from the outside and feels hunted on the inside. The promotion came with a larger title, a better salary, and a private fear that one missed detail could expose you. You do not need another hack. You need a clean boundary between your work and your soul. If that boundary holds, something changes quickly. You can answer hard emails without giving them your pulse. You can enter meetings without surrendering your self-respect to the mood of the room. By minute 2, here is the quick win. Before any demand reaches you, ask one question. Is this mine to govern? Epictetus puts the blade in the first line of the Enchiridion. Some things are up to us and some things are not. Your effort is up to you. Your preparation. Your honesty. Your tone. The reaction of a client, the politics above you, the market, the timing, the rumor, the algorithm of attention around your career are not. Workplace anxiety begins when you place your piece on the wrong side of that line. You tell yourself you are being responsible, but you are secretly bargaining with fate. If everyone approves, then I can breathe. If the quarter goes well, then I am safe. If my boss is calm, then I am calm. That bargain makes another person the owner of your nervous system. Marcus Aurelius knew this danger. In Meditations Book 4, he writes that if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your judgment about it. That sentence is not comfort. It is a surgical instrument. Notice the precision. Marcus does not say the email is imaginary. He does not pretend the deadline is fake. He says the wound is your judgment. This matters because a fact can require action without requiring panic. A missed number can require repair without requiring self-hatred. A hostile meeting can require courage without requiring collapse. Here is the first loop closing. The quick win is not a mantra. It is a sorting practice. When anxiety hits, write 2 columns in your mind. Column 1, my choices. Column 2, outcomes. Then move every fear into its proper place. You will feel resistance because anxiety wants ownership of both columns. Now we come to the second problem. High performers often think anxiety proves commitment. If you are not tense, you must not care. If you are calm, you must be lazy. Seneca attacks this confusion in Letters from a Stoic, Letter 30, where he says we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. That line hits modern work with brutal accuracy. You can lose an entire weekend to a meeting that lasts 20 minutes. You can rehearse a conversation 30 times, then find the other person barely remembers the issue. The body pays for every imagined disaster as if it already happened. Anxiety is expensive rehearsal. Seneca does not ask you to become naive. He asks you to invoice your fears accurately. Which fears a real demand? Which is theater? Which problem exists now? In matter, in time, in front of your hands. This is where most modern advice gets it backward. It tries to delete anxiety before it audits it. The Stoic audit has 3 steps. Name the feared event. Name the action available today. Name the virtue required if the event happens anyway. That last step changes everything. If the client leaves, you need steadiness. If the board criticizes you, you needed honesty. If the project fails, you needed endurance and repair. But here's where it gets sharper. Stoicism is not a way to feel superior to pressure. It is a way to stop wasting pressure. In Discourses, Book 1, Epictetus compares life to training. The challenge is not an interruption of your philosophy. The challenge is the gymnasium where your philosophy becomes visible. So the rude executive is not merely a rude executive. He is a chance to practice dignity without applause. The delayed payment is not merely a cash problem. It is a chance to practice prudence without panic. The colleague who takes credit is not merely unfair. He is a test of whether your character needs witnesses. This does not excuse bad behavior. Stoicism is not submission. Marcus ran an empire. Seneca advised power. Epictetus taught discipline to people living under real constraint. The point is not to accept every condition. The point is to choose your response before resentment chooses it for you. Now the master loop turns. If anxiety grows from controlling too much, then freedom grows from taking full command of the small kingdom that is actually yours. Your attention, your words, your standards, your preparation, your recovery after failure. No company can give you this kingdom, and no manager can take it without your consent. The strongest Stoic insight for workplace anxiety is this: peace is not the reward for winning the day. Peace is the discipline you bring into the day so you can meet winning and losing without being purchased by either. That is why waiting to feel safe before acting keeps you weak. If your calm depends on the outcome owns you. If your calm depends on your conduct, you have leverage. This is not emotional numbness. It is emotional governance. You still feel the spike before the presentation. You still feel the sting after criticism. You just stop treating every feeling as a command. Try this tomorrow before opening your inbox. Sit for 60 seconds. Picture the difficult email, the impatient boss, the changing plan, the client who may not approve. Then say, "These may arrive, but they do not decide whether I act with clarity, restraint, courage, and fairness." Now open the inbox. This is negative visualization, but not pessimism. Marcus practices it in Meditations, Book 2, when he prepares to meet meddling, ungrateful, arrogant people. He does not do this to become bitter. He does it so surprise cannot steal his reason. A prepared mind wastes less blood on predictable friction. There is one more piece, and it is the part ambitious people resist. You must decide what kind of person you are becoming while you pursue what you want. A promotion can reward competence and still deform character. Money can expand choices and still shrink courage. Status can protect your ego while training fear. Marcus asks in Meditations, Book 6, whether we are doing the work of a human being, not the work of a title, not the work of a resume. A human being. That question cuts through workplace anxiety because it returns you to function. Your function is not to be admired. It is to act well in the material given. So resolve the promise from the opening. The Stoic answer to workplace anxiety is not confidence that nothing will go wrong. It is confidence that wrong things can happen without receiving your whole identity as tribute. You may lose the deal. You do not have to lose command of yourself. The practice is simple enough to remember under pressure. Divide control. Audit fear. Choose virtue before outcome. Preview friction before it arrives. Then do the next correct action without asking the room for permission to breathe. This is not escape from work. It is freedom inside work. If this question of control matters to you, watch the next essay on the channel about Marcus Aurelius and social media addiction. The battlefield